Yeah, hey everyone. Welcome to a live stream. I'm talking about the upcoming uh, Canton Real Estate Investors Meetup this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. We meet at the Thrive Co-working space in downtown Canton. They've got a couple of locations now in downtown Canton. We meet at the Thrive on Reformation Parkway, which is on the side where Reformation Brewery is. And I have a video that I'll post in the comments after this live video ends that shows how to walk from the parking lot to the meeting room in Thrive co-working space. So this Thursday we'll be talking about. We're going to do something a little different. Let me back up and just describe to you what we normally do. So we meet every month, or actually 10 times a year, monthly, except we do not meet in July or December. But other than that, the second weekend of the month is when we meet at 6:30 p.m. And normally we have a presentation that's given. Sometimes I'll give a presentation, or I'll bring in a special speaker that will give a presentation, and on a given topic that's relevant to real estate investing. And before we do the presentation, before the presenter gets up to give the presentation during the meeting, there's a time where we have some networking. People, come into the room, have time to talk, and then we officially begin the meeting by having a few minutes of purposeful and organized networking. And how this works is that every participant in the room will have 15 seconds to give their elevator speech. And if there's, if we don't have a big group, maybe a little bit more time than that. But I try to keep everybody on track, 15 seconds. So you want to come in with your A game, ready to give your name, what you do, and basically the reason you're at the meetup. And if you're an experienced investor, you can say you're an experienced investor and you do this, that, and the other thing, and you're here, because you just like networking with other investors, whatever. If you have no experience and you're just curious and you're wondering what this real estate investing is all about, or how you can break into becoming a real estate investor, you're welcome to come to the meetings as well. And your 15-second elevator speech, maybe your name, and you came because you want to learn and you haven't started in real estate investing. And that's great. And so we have everybody in the room from the spectrum of highly experienced investors with lots of years of experience doing different types of real estate deals and transactions, to people that haven't gotten started yet. And most of the people are somewhere in between. The people have maybe done their first deal or in their first deal, or have done several of them, but they may not consider themselves to be a full-time professional real estate investor at this point, or maybe they never want to be a full-time professional investor, but somebody that just wants to invest in real estate on the side for some extra income. So anyway, everybody is welcome. And then after that 15-second going around the room for everyone to give their information, we then introduce the speaker and have a presentation that lasts anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes up to 45 minutes, depending on the speaker and the topic and the questions and answers and group conversation that we have. And then at the end of the presentation, we may have some short announcements, but everybody can stay in the room and often mingle because if you come on time, you have heard everybody's 15-second elevator speech. You've heard a quality presentation. You have heard the conversation or the questions and answers. And by the end of that time, you will probably have identified one or two or more people in the room that you would like to go and talk to after the presentation. So we allow time for that. People linger for 15 minutes, a half hour. Sometimes there's a group of us that will go out to a nearby place, Reformation Brewery or a restaurant or whatever, to continue on a group conversation. And we break up. It's not necessary that we all do that as a group, but we could mostly do that. If everybody wants to go to a certain place afterwards, that's fine. But people, break up into small groups, and some people just leave and go home or go on their way, and others linger more and are making connections. So this is always a great way to be involved in the real estate investment world. a big part of being a successful real estate investor, in my opinion, is doing effective networking. That is connecting with other investors for the purpose of learning and possibly maybe doing deals together. It's not presuppose that you'll do deals with anybody that you meet at a meetup. Maybe you never will, but it has the opportunity to develop into relationships with people that you meet and that you might do deals with. But the learning is just outstanding. And there are so many ways to make money in real estate as an investor that being in the room with other investors that share their experiences and ask questions from the presenter, and you start getting a feel of like all the different or many different ways that people are engaged in real estate investing for profit, and what their motive is or what their long-term strategic plan is. Some people like to hold rental properties and have monthly cash flow. Other people like to add a lot of value to properties, resell them and get a big windfall. Others just like to grow their portfolio with a wide variety of types of real estate, from land holdings to houses, rental houses, to shopping centers, to apartment buildings and retail establishments. The sky is the limit. There's so many ways to make money in real estate as an investor, and so many types of real estate that you can do this with. So the networking is invaluable, and probably one of the, if not the most important aspect of participating in a real estate investment association meetup, like the Canton Real Estate Investors Meetup. So everyone is invited. This month, we're doing something different than I've never done this before. And I'll be presenting, but I'm really not going to present any particular topic. We're going to have an open forum where everyone can ask me any real estate related question. It doesn't even have to be specific to real estate investing. I think most of the questions I'll get will be relevant to real estate investing. There's other questions that you might have that's not specific to real estate investing, but specific to real estate. So maybe questions about what kind of contracts are used and what kind of ways to negotiate a contract, that sort of thing, which is not specific to investing, but we'll tailor make those answers to make them as relevant to you as an investor. So agents are welcome, brokers, mortgage lenders, appraisers, any real estate professional, home inspectors are welcome to come to this meetup and participate maybe in answering some questions with me if we get some good questions. And then, of course, investors that maybe are not professional investors, and I think most of the people that come would not call themselves professional real estate investors, but they may be a long time real estate investor doing it part-time or whatnot. And there's a lot of good information in the room, a lot of good questions that potentially could be asked. And I have no idea where the questions are going to go, where they're going to come from. And I may have some prepared, some talking points to kind of break the ice, if you will. And I may ask everyone there some questions myself to get the conversation going. But anyway, this month's topic, ask me any real estate related question. I'm really looking forward to it. I enjoy presenting and engaging with the investors that show up, and the learning process. I learn something every time I present. I learn something every time there's somebody presenting at the meetup and I'm sitting in the audience listening to the presentation, and then the questions and answers and the conversations that take place. And then, of course, again, going back to the networking, we normally have one or two or three, at least, people that have never come before that show up every month. And not everybody that comes shows up every month. We have about 100 people on this list. If everybody showed up, we'd be packed out of the room. But normally the group can range from 15 to 30 people. That's kind of like the normal size of the group that shows up. But we have room for comfortably for 40 people in the room. So come on out. You're welcome to come. Even if you don't have questions, you just want to come and listen to the questions that are asked and the answers that I give. And I'm not claiming that I have all the answers to everything that might be thrown at me, but I'm confident enough I can give a reasonable answer and point you in the right direction to get the best answer or a better quality answer if my answer is not satisfactory. And I also, if you want to come and try to stump me, that's great. I'd love it. And if you do stump me, I'll make a promise right now that I will spend time after the meeting finding out the best people that can answer that question. Either I'll get the answer from them and then communicate it to you, or I'll introduce you to the person that has the best answer and can help you the most. So anyway, I love doing what I do. I love these monthly meetings. So I hope to see you this Thursday, June 13th, 6:30 p.m. in downtown Canton at the Thrive co-working space. So that's all for now. I'm going to end this live stream, and I'll be glad to participate in any discussion and comments that you leave. Thanks, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on Thursday.